During this video, we're going to look at place value of decimals. So in the past, we've looked a lot at the numbers that come before the decimal. So for example, 1 is in the millions column, then we have hundred thousands, 10,000s, thousands, hundreds, tens, ones. Then we have our decimal point. The first number after that is tenths, okay? The second number after the decimal point is hundredths. We have thousandths and 10,000ths. So you could think of that as for tenths, 1 over 10, hundredths, 1 over 100, thousandths, 1 over 1,000, and 10,000ths, 1 over 10,000. So if you look at our first decimal here, 5.2, okay? So it's 5 and 2 tenths. That's the way that we could read it. With our second one here, we have 7.29. So again, with this, we can think of it as 7 and 29 hundredths, because the 9 is in the hundredths column. Now, with the following questions, what we're going to do is identify the value of the 5 in the 3 questions. So we have 3.75. Okay, so you can think of it, we're after the 5 here. We're thinking, what column does that come in? So we've got our decimal, then we've got our tenths and hundredths. So that's equivalent to equaling. The 5 represents 5 hundredths, or 5 over 100. The next one, 1.5. We look at the decimal point, and the 5 is in the tenths column. Okay, so it's going to be 5 over 10. It represents 5 tenths. And finally, number 3, 0.365. So we've got our decimal, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So the 5 represents 5 over 1,000. Okay, so with these 3, what is the value of the 3 in the following? So what I want you to do right now is to pause the video. So it's going to be your turn to go through these 3 different questions and try and find the place value of the 3 in the following. So I'm hoping that you've already had a go. So with number 1, 0.03, we've got our tenths column and our hundredths column. So the 3 represents 3 over 100 for that first one. With number 2, we have 7.3 is our decimal, and then our tenths column. So with this one, the 3 represents 3 over 10. And finally, for number 3, 9.173. So the 3 here is in the thousandths column, so that's going to represent 3 over 1,000.